You're welcome back to BDTV. This is the newspaper review segment. I'm still Zainab Adirumu. And of course, doing this with us is still our in-house analyst and editor-at-large, Mr. Chido Wakama. It's great to have
Thank
you
you,
back,
Zainab.
sir.
Yeah.
It's good to be back. Now we're going to talk about some news stories that made it to the front page of newspapers. We're going to start with the front page of The Punch. And this is really interesting. It's a story on security, and that's something that, we're always talking about. The federal government's 99 billion naira e-border project fails to stop bandits and illegal aliens from crossing the Nigerian borders, from entering our borders every single day. Now, this is interesting because when you ask the minister in charge, he talks about how there's so much technology that's deployed across our borders that's monitoring even the sea and land. It would talk about the fact that we have command over those parts of our borders, the sea, land, and air. But natives, locals who stay in these places still talk about the fact that some people from different countries still cross into our borders despite this technology that's available.
Yeah, it's an interesting story. It's a story that should keep every Nigerian on alert because I see that the headline talks about 9 billion.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, but further down in the story, you find that the government had actually allocated 52 billion. I wonder how they will reconcile those two figures. But more importantly, it mentions a specific area, at least one specific area where they have examples of that happening. That is the border town of Baruten and Kayama in Kwara State. Now, they need to pay more attention to that area. We didn't see what the government is doing about this infiltration. The impression you get is that it's small. They just walk across and all that. Is that correct? Is it massive infiltration? Are we having a lot of people passing through those borders and coming in? Is that a contributor to the insecurity that we are facing? It's good that the story has been highlighted so that the relevant agencies, particularly the Ministry of Internal Affairs, will rise up and tackle the challenge. Let's know what we are doing and why we are having that problem. It's illegal. The problem of illegal aliens is real, and the expenditure of government, they say from last year, the minister had said that it will help secure 50% of our borders. 50% of our borders are now automated. But this story is saying, yes, you may have done that, but it's not doing what it should do.
Ought to do.
It's not doing what it ought to do. I don't know if that is correct. If we're able to spot it, that this is happening, but from the story, it's the locals who are saying, look at, the people are still coming. So what is the technology doing? If the technology is not able to spot it, then it has failed. But if it's spotting it, then where are the coordinations? Where are the linkages? Once it spots it, you would expect that a control center will be able to inform customs, immigration, the police, and the relevant military to say, here, there are leakages. These people are still coming in spite of, but our technology has been able to spot it. But from the story, we see that it's the locals who are reporting that this is happening. So it makes you wonder, is our technology working? Is it fit for purpose? If it's not working, if it's not delivering the results that we expect, then they should tinker with it and get it to because that's a lot of money that we are spending. We should get it to do the work it should do. But we thank Punch for this story, good story.
Yes, yes, amazing. You know, I mean, if they have deployed such amount of money on technology, it's expected that it should work.
It should work.
And it should spot what it ought to spot.
Yeah.
And then there should be a follow-up action towards that. But it seems like maybe it's not working, or it's the follow-up action that is missing.
Exactly. We do not know where the lacuna is. Is it that it's not working, or that there is no follow-up? But the fact that locals have pointed out, and the Punch spoke to the chairman, the former chairman of that local government, so he knows what he's talking about. He's just not jiving. So we really should do something about it. Should take action.
But really, you know, I would expect that such amount of money is probably deployed to other parts. Say, for example, getting a harmonized data system of the people, you know, say maybe we could say the entire Nigeria really. But when we're putting money into stuff like this, and we're expecting that, we expect that it should work really. But how exactly are we? How exactly is the government also ensuring that beyond this technology, you know, there's also other security measures that are being put in place? So, for example, if you have a data system of everybody, you know that, oh, this is somebody, if somebody commits a crime, they're easily traceable. But when they come in, when other people come in, and the story says they're bandits, they're illegal, people doing illegal stuff, there's no database, there's no data system that you can use to trace them and to apprehend them in time. What do you think about other security measures that can be put in place besides this technology?
I think that in terms of data, in terms of technology, we already have much in place. We have our NIN, which is primary, which should, then we have so many other identification means in Nigeria, from your driver's license to the passport to, so our data, if you've ever done any official business in Nigeria, the federal government has your data. So the challenge for the minister of the minister and the minister should be the minister. He should coordinate. They should have whatever it is that they need to do within 3 months, harmonize all the data that we have about Nigerians. There's so much. And it's from birth. We register births, we register deaths. So we have data. The challenge is, what are we doing with the data? We have the data. Can we make sense of it? Can we now use it so that, or if we need to, we really shouldn't put any more burdens on Nigerians. There have been too many burdens about data. Go and register this. No, we don't want any more of that. You have enough data. Harmonize it. Make it work. So the question of people coming in, we should be able to identify them to say they are non-Nigerians. We should be able to do that, and we should be able to stop them. But more importantly, it's at that border point where they say they have spent so much money. Please let it work. Let's see something happening. We should now go beyond the PowerPoint presentations and be seeing powerful action. This is what has happened. These are the results. And it's a good thing when probably in 3 months' time, someone else should go and do the story again
and check if
and
something
check
has been done
if
about
there's
it.
been an improvement, and speak to the locals. Have you noticed a decrease in these people coming in, or a total cessation of these people coming in? Are we stopping them? Note that this is just one of several border posts across the country. You know, we share borders with about 5 countries. So if from one point we are having so much leakage, what about the others? What's happening? And this is a land border. What about the sea borders? Everywhere we should, across the country, we should be able to work closely and stop it. If you go to Cross River State, there are various communities that walk across to Cameroon. The Cameroonians also walk across
to Cross River.
to Cross River. So it's historical. It's been going on. So there are cultural ties, just as you have in the Sokoto area, that they had all those kind of issues. But what are we doing to ensure that they do not affect us negatively? Such movements do not affect us negatively. We should watch it. The government, the Ministry of Interior, should take necessary action. From here, I think that the first thing is, can you stop these people coming in? 2, can you harmonize the data so we know who is a Nigerian, who and where are they, and all that? There are so many data points. They've collected so much data about us. Can you put it all together so that we can work with it?
All right, amazing. Thank you very much, sir. Now let's move on to the front page of Business Day, and I find this story really interesting. It says that oil outputs for the first time in 4 years have surpassed 1.5 million barrels per day. But when you go deeper into the story, the difference is not so much. So it's now raising to 1.51 million barrels per day. And I still find it really, I want to use the word disturbing, but I'm not sure if that's actually the word that should be used, because we've been talking about increasing oil output for a very long time. We're talking about increasing it to about 1.8 or 2 million barrels, but that's even what the budget was benchmarked on. And if we're moving this slowly, what is the indication, or what is the assurance that we're actually going to make it to 2 million barrels per day where the budget was benchmarked on?
Well, the editorial decision to highlight it is to point out that we are making progress, no matter how slowly. Progress. I like the fact that we've highlighted the progress. It's for us to now say, okay, what are the things that are holding us from moving further up? You know that a lot of this has to do with production. A lot of this has to do with the security of production. We seem to have made some progress there. So if the companies can produce, then let's see how. It's to hope that the editors of this Business Day will now look at it and see how we can monitor every month. We have moved up by about 100,000 barrels. Can we do 300,000 by March? That way we'll be getting to 1.8. Can we do a further 500? So by July, we should be getting to 2 billion, which is what we had planned ab initio. But the good thing is that there is slight progress. So let's count that as a good development. We don't always have to have negatives. And there's even another positive also on Business Day front page.
Yes, it says here that there's a global appetite for seafood, and this is giving an opportunity for Nigerian exporters and even investors, because if there's a global appetite for shrimps and other seafood that we produce locally, it means that if you invest in such avenues, then you can be able to boost exporters and people who are into that business. So what do you think about business owners now? How do you think they can exactly grab this opportunity that has been presented?
Well, it's for them to do an analysis of that sector. There are many experts who can guide them. Once they have looked at the opportunities there, then they should be looking at talking with the Nigerian Export Promotion Council. How are we going to? But the first thing is to get on the ground and start producing. Get on the ground and be part of the narrative of those who are able to take advantage of this market that is opening up to Nigeria. So that's the important thing. Business Day also has one or two other positive stories that we should look at. If you have your copy of Business Day, physical or online, you should check page 29. The story is that the Nigerian economy is tipped to rebound in 2025. Experts at a First Bank event, Biodun Adedipe, Bismarck Rewane, and all that, say that with the reforms that the government has enacted and implemented, getting to the midway point, we can say that the country will start moving forward. So they said there should be a rebound. Things will get better in this year. And so the First Bank MD, Mr. Segun Alebiosu, also shares that optimism. He says, 2024 was a year of miracles. People have been fighting to get subsidies out for almost 40 years, and that's achieved. Prices of fuel are already stabilizing. We've seen forex reserves reach about 40 billion. These have sustained my optimism about the Nigerian economy in 2025. So we have a situation where all of those who should know are saying this will be a better year. We've gone through 1 year and a half of pains from the reforms. But now we are used to the reforms. We have gotten the grip of it. It should now begin to yield the benefits that it promised.
We expected.
Yes, so that's what we should be looking for.
All right, amazing. Thank you. I think we should also do an analysis of the cartoon of the day. And you know, the Business Day, we always have very, very interesting, very thoughtful, thought-provoking cartoon of the day. So we can see here, it says that, so there are 3 people in a queue. They're sort of bounded by the mouth with a cloth that
There's
has
a
the
gag
naira,
that doesn't allow them to speak.
Sign on it, and then it says, Nigerian army generals with their retirement benefits. So they have this very big load, SUVs, and all of those things put on their head, and they're coming from a shed, which is the Nigerian army. So I'm not really sure. Do you want to sort of explain this cartoon? What do you think it means?
Well, the cartoon speaks to the new benefits announced for the Nigerian army. You are loading the generals with so many benefits. But you can see where they are coming from. A tattered operating environment, a tattered shed. So the question is, you're sending them out and you are gagging them with money. Because that's what $20,000 for their medical treatment. In addition to the SUVs, should have even captured the number. They are getting so many SUVs. And you're wondering, what's this? So it's a dig at the policy that it could be counterproductive. It could fix the environment where they are working.
Fix the institutions.
Fix the institution. If you give them so much because they have retired, but what about those who are still in service? What do they get? That's what the question is asking. And you see, the thing is, the benefits are so much, they are overloaded. And the naira gag on their mouth is to say, because they are going to swallow so much, they can't even speak.
Yeah, their integrity would somehow be compromised.
Yes, they will be compromised seriously. So that's the idea of that.
All right, amazing. Thank you very much. That brings us to the end of the newspaper review. Thank you very much for doing this with us, sir.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for watching the newspaper review on BDTV. I am Zainab Aderomu, and next up we're going to have the big story analysis with Elizabeth Musa. Stay tuned.